I assume that you already know how to teach martial arts, but you want to know how to teach martial arts online. I've discovered the best approach to do this that'll not only help you teach more effectively online, but these videos will automatically market themselves to those who are searching for martial arts training online. The people who will be watching your videos are those who have actually searched for the specific type of martial arts that you teach, but have never heard of you before. Well, now they'll be learning from you. Okay, first we're going to talk strategy about teaching online. Then we're going to talk about how to start your videos and then how to keep people's attention. I'll then teach you the most efficient way to prepare your content. And then at the end of this episode, I'm going to share a strategy about how you can get found or how more people can find your videos. I make hundreds of educational videos every month on YouTube. This is my expertise, and I help lots of other educators do the same. In fact, many of them are doing extremely well financially. Several of them are making six figures every month, and we follow this exact strategy. So here's the strategy. People all around the world right now are searching for your expertise. And what we do, how we help them find you because they've never heard of you before, we make videos that answer their questions, and we put these questions on YouTube, okay? So people go and they do this search on Google or YouTube, they find your video answering their question, and they make eye contact with you as they watch that video. And they learn to like you and admire you, and they want to hire you. I've said that phrase before. It rhymes and it's kind of catchy, but think about it for a minute. You've created a 10-minute video and you put it on YouTube and it answers someone's question. They're really appreciative that you've answered their question and they see you as the expert on that topic. Now, it doesn't take much then for people to get to a point where they want to hire you. Maybe they subscribe and they watch a couple more videos, and then they've gone and checked out your website and they learn to see what you offer. Okay, this part of the video you really want to pay attention to, and trust me, because this is so important and it will get you amazing results. And it's super easy, okay? It's keyword research, but there's a tool that does all the work. Take a look at this. It's called the Keyword Magic Tool. Now it's on this website, SEMrush. They have a ton of tools. You don't need any of the other tools. I don't use any of the other tools. I just use this one, okay? Watch what happens if I type in martial arts. Okay, then I come over here while it's loading. I'm going to hit the questions button. I always turn on the questions button. And then lastly, I'm going to turn on an advanced filter. I'm going to turn that word count up to 8. That's my default. I always start at 8 because I want questions that are 8 words or more. I want long questions because that means more specific, and it means less competition, or it means no competition in most cases. All right, what is the best martial art for self-defense? I bet you have an opinion on that, and people want to know your opinion. So make an episode with that title. Or here's another one. What type of martial arts should I learn? Why is it inaccurate to call karate a martial art? Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. Does martial arts help in a street fight? That's an interesting question. How old is too old to learn martial arts? You really need to make that episode. Oh, I love that question. All right, let's get more specific. What if you do teach karate, okay, or whatever martial arts you like to teach? Type that in there. Okay, and then what you want to do is just comb through the list and say, what are the questions that I'm really excited about answering? Oh, it's bringing in carrot. Okay, so I'm gonna, what you can do, we want it to be karate, so I'll just click exact match. This one's interesting. Do you want to do karate in the garage? What is the difference between kung fu and karate? I wish I knew the name of a karate move or something like that. Let me just go to Google and type in, so I typed in karate moves. There we go. Let me type in list. All right, so what's happened? What if I type in this chokuzuki? All right, let me do it in English. Straight punch. Okay, how to punch straight. I don't have the minimum word count on, but it looks like it's specific enough we don't need to. Ooh, I love this one. How to defend against a straight punch. So we're looking for phrases like that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. Okay, so it's really specific. Notice that it's only got 10 searches per month. Ooh, that's okay, and that's gold. Here's why. People go to Google or YouTube, these 10, and they're typing in this exact phrase. Your video pops up because that's the title, and of course they click on it, that's what they were searching for, and they watch it all the way to the end. Well, the YouTube algorithm has been watching this whole interaction and says, wow, this is a good video. This is a performer. Let's suggest this video to more and more people. And so that's how your video will start to get hundreds of views and then thousands of views and even tens of and hundreds of thousands of views. If you go after phrases that have high search volume, everyone else is doing that too. You're not going to compete. There's way too much competition. So you put your video on YouTube and it's crickets. No one sees it. It could be produced by Steven Spielberg, but no one's going to see it. But if you do what I suggest here and you find phrases that have at least a trickle of search volume every single month, how to defend against a straight punch. You put that video with that title on there and you answer that question in your episode and you demonstrate that, wow. More people are going to see it the next week, the next month, 6 months from now. This video is still getting traffic. 3 years from now, people are still finding your video. This strategy is going to transform your business. Now hold on just a minute. I just noticed that you haven't subscribed yet. So there's a red button. Go ahead and click that red button and subscribe to this channel. And then right next to it, there's a bell. Click that button as well. That turns on alerts so that each time I upload a new episode, you'll get an email from YouTube and you won't miss a thing. Once I have the titles selected, the list of videos that I want to film, and I'm ready to prepare the content, I use the same outline every time. This is what the outline looks like. I've got my title. I can make notes about my intro if there's anything I want to say specifically in the intro. I remind myself to give content hooks. Then I have several bullet points where I can just put the talking points of things that I want to talk about throughout the video. What I want to talk about first, second, third. I might end with a story, and then I always have a very specific call to action, whether I'm recommending the video that they should watch next or the lead magnet, the free gift that they can get by clicking the link below. Now, we already talked about your titles. Remember, this is probably an 8 or a 9 word phrase. That's what your title is. In your intro, you're basically reading the title to them and then telling them why it's important. So, hey, in this video, we're going to talk about this long sentence. I've been doing this for years, or this is really going to change your life. Right? So something profound, something that's a why of why they need to watch this 10-minute episode. We're going to talk about the content hooks in a minute because we need to have the content prepared first. One way that you can think about it is in time. Like I'm going to spend a minute here, then I'm going to spend a minute here. I'm going to share a story, maybe that's 2 minutes. I've got another minute here, and I've got another minute here. You'll know the time as you go along. Now, when you prepare it this way, you don't want to memorize it and on filming day try and remember all bullet points, because guess what? You can pause. I'm pausing a whole bunch while recording this video, but I know that my editors will just edit out those pauses. And what I have all my clients do is they do point number 1. They look at their notes, then they come and they look into the camera and they deliver point number 1. They might talk for 1 minute, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, and then they finish point number 1. Then they come back, they look at their notes. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. Then they come back to the camera and they deliver point number 2. They're not thinking about what point number 3 is. In fact, we want them to intentionally pause after they're done talking about point number 2. They come back to their notes, they look at point number 3 and they think, oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. They look at the lens of the camera and they deliver point 3. This is the best way to prepare your content because 1, it's simple. You're not writing out a lengthy script that might take you a couple of hours to prepare for one video. Now you can just bullet point the talking points in maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and that episode is prepared. And you can take the burden off your shoulders of having to memorize all this content because you've just got memory joggers. I'm going to talk about this first, then I'm going to talk about this second. And you're going to pause between each one. When you start your episode, all you need to do is 2 things. Okay, you need to say what the video is about and then tell them why they should watch. So when you do keyword research, you find that phrase, that question that people are asking. So it's really as simple as that. If the title of my video was how to invest in real estate with no money, this is how I would start it. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to invest in real estate with no money. I've done it dozens of times. I figured out the best strategy that has the least risk with the highest profits, and I'm going to teach you my strategy in this episode. Or if the title of your video was how to get your kids to listen without yelling, I might say, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get your kids to listen without yelling, because sometimes that's all we can do is just yell, and it seems to like escalate. We yell and finally they listen. Well, now I'm going to teach you how you can get them to listen the first time so you never have to get to that point. After you've done your intro and the little opener has played, your little branding piece that's 6 or 8 seconds long, then comes the content. And you want to start out your content with content hooks. So I want to demonstrate how not to do it and then a better way to do it. So on the outline here, I'm going to just demonstrate with this title, How to Get Rid of Strep Throat Without Antibiotics. Now, Doreen Spackman, she's the expert on this topic. She taught it to me. I've used the remedy many times, so I'm going to pretend that that's my expertise, okay? And here's my outline. You notice I've got 3 words or 1 word or 2 words, okay? Very simple outline. I've got 6 different points that I'm going to cover in the video. First, let me demonstrate how not to do the content hooks. All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, really you just need 3 ingredients. If you go grab some garlic, some cayenne pepper, and some raw honey, and you mix that together, you take that, it will wipe out your strep throat. I just gave away the whole episode, right? Why are people gonna need to watch longer? Or maybe they don't believe me. Maybe they think, oh, that sounds too good to be true. Let me go find a better video. Or maybe they do believe me and they go leave to see if they have those ingredients in their kitchen. Who knows, but they're certainly not gonna stick around for the full episode. So here is a second attempt, and I'm gonna set some content hooks that create curiosity. All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, first, we're going to talk about why not antibiotics. And there's some good reasons why you might want to consider an alternative. Then there are 3 ingredients. We're going to talk about each one and how each one is a natural antibacterial and a natural antiviral. It's amazing stuff. Then we're going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to prepare this and how to take it, dosage and whatnot. And then I'm going to wrap up with a story. My son, when he was really young, he had a high fever, he had strep throat, and we used this remedy. He also experienced a side effect that you're going to want to know about because you're probably going to experience this side effect as well. All right, let's dive in. Now let's talk about the end of the video. You want to have a call to action if you want your channel to be profitable, right? If you want to make revenue or you want to have customers or clients, you need to ask them to do something. But it's actually easier than you might think. You don't have to sell them anything at this video, which would kind of be weird when it's an educational video, right? You're giving away information for free, and then at the end you're trying to sell them something. Nope, we don't have to worry about that. Give them a free gift. Okay, so you might say something like this. Hey, now that you've learned how to do A, B, and C, I want to give you a free copy of my book. I go way more in depth on this topic, and if you click the link below and you just cover the shipping costs, I'll send you the book for free. That type of a call to action or that type of a lead magnet, the gift that you give away is called a lead magnet because it attracts leads. That can be really effective because in order for them to pay the shipping costs, they need to give you their name, their phone number, their address, their email, and they're paying a few dollars so you know that they're committed. So it's a high quality lead and you get a lot more of their contact information. As a heads up, the lead magnet that I'm going to give away to you for watching this episode is my Influencer Almanac. It's a digital piece that has a lot of valuable information in there, but there's no cost at all. You just get it for free because I don't have to ship it out to you. I can just email you the link. Another thing that I want to talk about call to action is engagement. You can ask people to do things like, hey, remember to subscribe. Did you notice how I asked you to subscribe earlier in the episode? I was over there sitting on the stairs. Most people wait to the end of the video and their call to action is that. But what that does is it tells people to leave. It says, you know what? I'm all done. You can be all done with YouTube. See you later. See you tomorrow. You actually don't want to give any signals like that. So at the end of your videos, you either have a call to action to a lead magnet where if they are going to leave, they're going to your website, or you have a call to action that leads them to the next video that you recommend that they watch. So you might say something like this. Hey, now that you've learned A, B, and C in this video, if you want to learn X, Y, and Z, go watch this video next. You can point to it, you can tell them the title of the video, but that way they're not ending their YouTube session, they're actually continuing and going and watching another video that you recommend to them. I typically will recommend that we do 5 episodes that link to a lead magnet. So the call to action is to go to a lead magnet. The other 15 would link to those 5 videos. So it'd be, hey, if you've learned A, B, and C, you need to go watch this video next to learn X, Y, and Z. And then at that video, the call to action is the lead magnet. Now that you've had a glimpse of this strategy, I want you to understand it completely. I've created another episode. It's called How to Get 1,000 Subscribers on YouTube in a Day. Go ahead and click here or up there.